Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Raft series. Today, bit of a short one, mostly because I honestly was not making a lot of progress moving forward. Like, I'm getting pretty keen to get this actual story started at this stage, and the raft is about as developed as it's going to be for a little bit. So I've had a bunch of sessions. I've still got about an hour and a half's worth to edit after this episode. But, minor spoiler, at the end of that 90-minute period, we do actually make some headway. But, in the meantime, to keep things moving forward, I am just going to do a few little compilation episodes like this one. So, I would suggest that you get strapped in. Find your favourite pair of swim fins and goggles, and yeah, we'll get the show on the road. Alright, just doing a bit of a quick demo here on how the little radio radar location-y types tech works. You need to have the 3 antennas, otherwise it doesn't work, and it will be a little bit fussy about the positioning of said antennas, I should say. You can't just put them down on the ground floor of your raft, so to speak. They will pitch a fit and say, oh, they need to be higher up, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I've tried a few different layouts with various playthroughs, but to be honest, where I've got these at the moment, they worked first go. I didn't have to pick them up and move them around. I just dropped them at the distances that they are, and that was enough to make the location system work. Now, anytime I have the radar screen up, you're going to see that there is some little green blips. They tend to be the smaller islands. The bigger blips tend to be the bigger islands. Now, I chopped quite a lot here because it took me a while to get to that one that was at the top of the screen. So much so that I ended up throwing an extra sail down to move things along a bit quicker. This is said big island, and the layout is broadly familiar. I think we've set foot on one of these type of islands before. We're here to cross off a couple of things. One of those is we've been neglecting our pufferfish tech. So I would like to, while I'm here, get at least one pufferfish killed in a way that it hasn't exploded, you know, all by itself. Because if it explodes all by itself, it doesn't drop anything. You've actually got to kill it with damage. You can do that with the spear, you can do that with the bow. The bow is probably the safer option, because that way you're not necessarily ever going to be close enough to trigger it wanting to blow itself up. The spear, you can do it, just probably make sure that your flippers aren't about to break. Because you're going to be sort of swimming in, swimming out, swimming in, swimming out a lot. And being in that close proximity to the pufferfish for an extended period is probably just going to see him wanting to explode and inflict his lovely poison, you know, stuff all over you. Anyway, on this island, we killed the boar. We are having a bash at trying to kill this shark so that we can have a clear run at this reef. It doesn't all go to plan. Yeah, anyway. I'll let you see how this works out. Yeah, I pretty much gave up on the shark for the moment. I need my health to recover a bit before I have another go at him. So I've elected to jump on the island and chop a few trees and gather some more bits and pieces. Our little llamery looking friend over there, we're going to still save him for a future episode. Essentially, we need the pufferfish tech to unlock the net gun. Like, we've got the gun itself, but we need the explosive powder that we get as a result of some drops off the pufferfish. We need that to be able to make the ammo for it, and we need the ammo for it to be able to, catch it. So, yeah, we've still got a bit of work to do in that regard, and of course this island has more than one boar, so we're just going to deal with him now. Alright, scratch one boar. Yeah, it's a little bit more awkward when the drop-off is quite sharp like that, because it's easy to slip into the deeper water and then be just outside of spear range, but yeah, it's alright. We got the job done in the end. Now, I've elected to leave this bit in here just to give you an idea of what my supplies look like at the moment. Metal is going pretty well. I've got a ton of feathers, I've got a few arrows. Bow, I haven't had a chance to use it yet. We've got enough materials to be making axes and spears and, all kinds of stuff. We need to be smelting some more of the goo from the seaweed, but that's pretty easy to have on the cook in the background. As you can see, the food side of things is going pretty well. Starting to get a bit of a stockpile of melons. We've got quite a lot of tree seeds there. We'll end up doing something about that in a future episode as well. Now, we've just emptied things out, and we are about to... Yeah... Okay, I'll let you, work out what's happening next. Alright, I'll plead guilty to the bit of a fake out there. It's all good. We managed to get into the cave to plunder its loot despite the best efforts of the eagle. We're just going to, push through out the other end of the cave here and do a bit of looting on this little reef. We just got to wait for little birdie, headache bird, to have his last go at me, and then I should be free and clear to get across onto this little island. Alright, time for a bit of high-speed reef gathering. For the most part, I'm going to cherry pick a few things here or there, but I'm actually primarily coming to this reef to locate a pufferfish. And do you think there is one here where there usually is one? Yeah, no, apparently not. The locations are mildly predictable, but they're not always there, or sometimes they're a little bit away from the location that you will expect them to be. So yeah, we didn't find one easily, but we are going to keep pushing on, and we're going to keep trying to locate a puffer fish. God, I can't do words today. Alright, after spending most of the raft day swimming around trying to find a pufferfish, I have now located the little sucker. Well, I found his shadow. In the dark it is really hard to actually see them swimming around. Oh, there we go. I think we've got him in our sights. Now, the arrows underwater don't travel very far. This shot was beyond optimistic. You do need to be fairly close before you will hit them. So you can see each time I hit the pufferfish, he does sort of puff up a little bit to show that I've hit him. So this sort of distance is about as good as it gets. And you've got to make sure you fully draw back on the bow. And when he dies, he turns himself upside down like this, and you can get all your arrows back. So we got our poison pufferfish head, which we need for a cooking recipe at some stage. I don't actually have that recipe yet. And we got, more importantly, the explosive goo. And we're going to do something with that very shortly. We just had to free up a bit of space. Now we're going to run back to base. We're going to pop the explosive goo into our smelter. We're going to have a little bit of a tidy up while we wait for that to cook. And once it's cooked, we will get something called explosive powder. Alright, that's the powder is done. Unfortunately, we've always got to pop the first one into the sacrifice to the research book. And now we have unlocked our net canister, which is the ammunition for the net gun. Now, of course, we don't get our explosive powder back, so we're going to have to go and find some more pufferfish so we can get some more explosive powder and we can get some more of that ammo going. It does only take one per cartridge, and depending on, if you're playing multiplayer, I'm going to say you probably need, I would say, 2 of each animal. Single player, I'm going to try and get away with just 1 of each, but the material generation is a bit on the slow side. So I may end up going with 2 of each, but if I do that, I'll be making this enclosure quite a bit bigger than it is at the moment. But for the moment, we don't have any animals yet, and we don't have the materials yet to actually collect any animals, but what I did do finally is throw down a couple of those larger planters, and the larger planters allow us to grow trees, basically. So the mango tree and the coconut tree, you can't grow those in the smaller planters. They need the dedicated tree planters. So with those, you can have as few or as many as you want, to be honest. Just be aware that, at least the last time I had some, the drop rate for seeds was less than 100%. So you're going to be relying on topping up your seed supply from islands, because you're not going to be totally self-sufficient. So the more of those tree planters that you have, the faster you're going to go through your seeds. So just an FYI on that. Alright, as we are reaching the end of the episode, I want to thank you for watching. If you've liked the content, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you are not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching and have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.